All right, 7:15 on the dot. Good Monday evening, everyone. I'm Fox 19 Now First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart with the 7:15 weather show. It's been gloomy all day. A little chilly. I mean, we got into the 60s, and excuse me as I die. Got into the 60s in a lot of spots this afternoon, but all that gloom you can see here just above TQL Stadium, didn't make it feel that way, right? It felt a little chilly out there. But right now the clouds are helping us. They're going to help to keep these temperatures up, rather. As we head through the evening, rather than dropping off quickly through the 40s, maybe into the upper 30s, just some mid-40s tomorrow morning. Still chilly, don't get me wrong. You'll need that jacket, but not that cold. Let's hop to it. Let's see here. Cross zoom. There we go. 8 a.m. That is today's weather number, or just 8, whatever you want to say. I just felt like, for the sake of space, I'd take it up, right? 8 a.m. That is today's sunrise this morning was at 8 o'clock on the dot. We have only 6 total sunrises here in Cincinnati this year, 8 a.m. or later. So we have 5 more in a row after this. That streak comes to an abrupt halt when we hit the day Sunday, and if you know why, it's because we've been talking about it. You might know. Daylight saving time comes to an end early Sunday. So with that, sunrise time, sunset times both bump back there an hour. It's nice you get that extra hour sleep for Sunday to get ready for another Bengals game, however you want to spend that extra hour. And then, the sunsets get bumped up too. And that's probably the worst part about daylight saving time coming to an end. The extra hour of sleep is nice, but then we have 5:30 sunsets. Sandwiched in between now and daylight saving time come to an end is 2 first alert weather days. Now, again, first alert weather days, it does not always just mean severe weather, right? It just means that it's going to be impactful. Sometimes it's a severe weather day. In this case, Wednesday and Thursday, just impactful days. We're not expecting severe storms with this. However, we're still going to see widespread rain. We're still going to see some gusty winds. Can't rule out some localized flooding issues. And with that, again, it's definitely going to slow things down. With all the leaves that are still in the trees, it's going to be breezy, so those leaves are going to come flying off, and those are slick when they are wet, right? Takes a long time to stop with that. So be safe out there, pack your patience, and don't forget to download the First Alert Weather app. I was just looking at this earlier just to double check, because I thought in my mind that we had it on there. If you go to the radar, the maps feature, there is an option to add the tropical layers too. And we're going to talk about Melissa, a very potent storm, one of the strongest hurricanes just by pressure alone, nonetheless the wind speeds with this thing, but one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record, and it is headed directly for Jamaica. Not pleasant. That's really not going to be great. We'll keep a very close eye on that. But you can track that storm too on our app. There is a feature for that. Here's the other angle looking back at, here's TQL Stadium over my shoulder. This is the other camera here, pointing that way. Looking from our tower cam towards the stadium. And again, a really nice night for some footy there. This is game number 1 of 3 they are playing, or potentially games 1 of 3. It's a best of 3 series with the Columbus Crew. First game here at home, second game up in Columbus, and if they need the third, it'll be back down here at TQL Stadium. I forget what day, but it's a ways from now. So, nonetheless, that's what's happening down there. That's why the stadium lights are on. Really nice night shaping up. We're at 58 degrees. Haven't dropped off all that much at all over the last hour or so. Now that 58 is at the International Airport. It's a little warmer down at Lunken. Last time I checked, and now I lied, and now it's 57. 57 there. Maybe International Airport just hasn't updated here, but we'll see. Either way, not bad for the evening this late in October. Getting ready to round out the month here in just a couple days. Where it has rained, and you can see where it has rained, low 50s down there to the South Falmouth over to Maysville. It's mostly been in our northern Kentucky and our southeastern Indiana communities, as far north as Ohio and Switzerland counties. But again, nothing too crazy out there tonight. It's enough to be a nuisance, but we're still dry downtown. Looking off to the west, and you really kind of have to squint to see it. It's not well defined, but it is there. You can see how the temperatures drop off over here. Once you get west of Wichita, Omaha, Minneapolis, right, once you start to get to the Dakotas, you can see just a little faint line there. That is our next cold front. This is going to start to press in as we work our way to Wednesday and Thursday. That's what's going to trigger the higher winds and the widespread wet weather. Right? We'll see wind gusts by Wednesday and Thursday, both over 20 to 25 miles per hour through the afternoon. And this is also going to be a good defense for the United States, this big cold front. What it's going to do is effectively be a giant broom, and it's going to help to sweep or at least nudge Hurricane Melissa back out into open water. So instead of it coming due north over Cuba and heading maybe towards Florida, it will get swept back out and pushed over more so Bermuda. So the Melissa, which we're going to talk about here in just a second, not a threat to the United States. So I want to put that back out there. The only threat we have here in the Ohio Valley is that first storm system down near Raleigh right now in the Carolinas. That is what we are on the fringe of, giving us the wet and weather out there this evening, enough to be a nuisance, right? That pushes out early tomorrow. By about midday, we're drying out, and the rest of our Tuesday looks pretty solid. Now, off to the west, that cold front, as we were mentioning, is going to be the sweeping mechanism to get Melissa and keep it pushing off to the east. But that does bring us a good amount of weather, and it's going to kind of come down here and do one of these. It's going to take a dive through the mid-south and then head right back up the east coast, almost nor'easterish, right? Kind of a clipper to a nor'easter transformation, if you want to call it that. We're not talking winter weather, but that's more so where you hear that. And at least the path is similar. Taking a dive, as it moves through, it's going to be kind of making a slow turn here in the Ohio Valley, and as it does, that's why we're going to see kind of 2 days of widespread wet weather, some areas over an inch of rainfall. All right, enough about that. Let's talk about Melissa. Look at that thing. I mean, it is a monster this evening. Earlier this afternoon, hurricane hunters, which fly through these things all the time, right? They had to kind of abort early their mission flying through the eye because it got too turbulent for them. Just a nasty storm. You're probably going to see reports on social media. Jeff, I'll get to you in just a second. Same with you, JD. There have been reports of birds inside of the eye. They're trapped in the eye, right? That happens a lot when these storms go over these islands. And I'm also trying to multitask. If it seems like I'm distracted, it's because I'm trying to watch the game too, this playoff game here. Cincinnati playoffs, baby. I'm trying to multitask. You'll see reports of birds trapped in the eye. That's very common as these eyes sweep over some of the islands here, the Antilles or anything like that. Some of the birds, they'll get disrupted by some of the higher winds, some of the outer bands of rain and precipitation. Then they find the calm of the eye. But then they just got kind of trapped there once that eye strengthens. So right now there are birds in the eye, and they'll probably eventually get tired here and settle down in Jamaica and kind of pop a squat before that storm pushes off, and they can try to ride out the eye there from the island. It might pick up new fresh birds in Jamaica as it pushes off to the east, right? Category 5, very potent, buzzsawish looking storm, just a nasty looking storm out there this evening. A well-defined eye. That eye is about 10 to 15 miles wide. And as of the 5 o'clock update, we're going to get an 8 o'clock update here shortly. The winds were sustained at 175 miles per hour. That's very intense already. 190 is the record. 175, and then gusts over 215. I mean, that's catastrophic, right? That's going to create all kinds of havoc. That is mostly in the eye wall, right? Those winds will calm down as you work your way a little farther away from the eye, but nonetheless, I mean, that's still awful. And it's so slow moving. Look at the speed. It's only moving 3 miles an hour. That's why they're going to see in some spots over 2 feet. I'm not talking 2 inches, 2 feet of rainfall in Jamaica. Just an awful storm. Jamaica, where it says Kingston there, if you're unfamiliar. This is the island of Jamaica here, and you can see the worst of that storm. They've been getting lashed already by some of the outer bands up here, but that storm is just getting ready to make that northern turn and head here into western portions of Jamaica. But, I mean, everywhere over here, they're going to be seeing some monster storm surge, some monster waves over here near the Kingston area, southeast Jamaica. Just not a good storm for them. Right now, 140 miles southwest of Kingston. Heading that way. It's going to take a direct hit right over the island. It'll work its way back out in open waters, but it won't have enough time to re-strengthen. So it'll move over eastern Cuba, kind of near Guantanamo, by the time we hit early Wednesday morning. And then, be weakening from there. Category 2, dropping to a Category 1, somewhere between a 1 to 2. As it moves near Bermuda, they've been getting all kinds of storms out there this evening, and then it'll work its way to the East Coast. But again, that storm system we have will be sweeping that back off the East Coast and out into Atlantic water, so no issues for the U.S. from that. All right, getting to questions. JD, I'm doing great. Started the day by getting stranded at the Atlanta airport. I was on vacation, as you saw last week. I was not here. Thursday or Friday, we went down and went to New Orleans and Jackson and Baton Rouge, and went pretty much the Deep South round tour. And then I got stranded coming back due to air traffic control shortages. Yay, government shutdowns. Anywho, so I started the morning with a delay, And eventually, we were supposed to get in last night and ended up getting back in this morning, but it worked out. So I'm doing all right, trying to play catch up. What is the weather for Canton tomorrow? Canton tomorrow, very cloudy, a little gloomy, but mostly dry up that way. It'll change by Wednesday. That's when the rain will start to push in for you as well. Severe weather, no. They are first alert weather days. Jeff asking if we have any severe weather coming. No, we do not. They are first alert weather days because they're going to be disruptive, right? We're going to see quite a bit of rainfall and some gusty winds, and that's just going to slow things down around here. But good news is, we'll get to this in a second too, that by the time we hit the end of this week, Halloween does look nice for the trick-or-treating plans. And then this weekend, outside of some spotty showers on Saturday, mostly good for the weekend forecast too. Darla, hello, good evening to you. It was a fantastic weekend. Got to do a lot. Got some beignets, ate too much. The Deep South not known for the healthy foods. So feeling a little tight in the belt this evening. But no, it was great. Got to check out the Tigers, and I will take at least partial credit for Brian Kelly being fired. Great time down at Death Valley Tiger Stadium. That was fun, and did a lot. Got to see some old friends down in Jackson, so always a good time, always a good time. Always great when it's vacation, right? Let's see, any ideas when the first snow will be? On average, I feel like I've looked this up. I know there's a graphic somewhere. Our normal, kind of first tenth of an inch of snow, right? Measurable snowfall is usually sometime like mid to late November for most of the tri-state. The farther north you get, it's a little earlier. The farther south you get, it's a little later. But generally, mid to late November is typically when we see at least a measurable snow. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be an impactful, foot or anything. But this year, I don't know, we're getting pretty chilly. I will say by the end of this 10-day forecast, the normal high temperature by the end of it, talking November the 6th, the normal high temperature by the end of this forecast, low temperature rather, is 38 degrees. So, we're getting close. It doesn't take much to get below that, right below normal by a little bit to get some freezing cold temperatures in here. We did not hit the freezing point, I don't think, early Friday morning, at least at the International Airport. So we still have not had a freeze. And so we're still in the frost freeze program for much of the tri-state. And with that, we don't have any freezing temperatures here for the next 10 days. We're getting close, especially next Thursday night into Friday morning. We'll get close again, but at least for now, no freezing temperatures here the next 10 days. So what I can guarantee you is that we will not see any snow the next 10 days, at least. All right, let's hop back to it, get through this, and that way I can stop trying to multitask, and that way I can let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Monday. Here we go. Through the rest of the evening, just spotty showers. Most of the rain, I think we do eventually late tonight see some showers push into downtown. But you can see by the time we hit early tomorrow, that rain pushes back out. So enough to be a nuisance, not much else. The rest of your Tuesday looks pretty good. Late Tuesday night into Wednesday is where things will start to change. And that's when the widespread rain will push on in. 59 degrees outside. That is where we'll be tomorrow afternoon. That's the high. That'll be a little bit shy of normal. Normal 62. Early rain, dry afternoon, and then late tomorrow night, the rain chances pick back up. Sunrise, again, one of our 6 sunrises after 8 o'clock in the morning. All right, here comes Wednesday. First alert weather day. Don't forget to download our app. Wednesday, good amount of rain. It pushes in. It's going to slow things down for the morning drive. The worst of the rainfall likely going to be around and south of downtown. That's where most areas could pick up over an inch of rain. It's going to be pretty steady. There will be breaks, but a pretty steady rainfall through that 2-day period. There's Wednesday. It's out. There's Thursday, still rainy. And then by Thursday evening, we're drying back out. So late Thursday night, we're dry. But in that time span, again, a lot of spots will pick up over an inch of rain. Friday evening, this is high school football time or trick-or-treating time because it is Halloween this Friday. Yes, that is how fast October has flown by. Gloomy, but not bad. I think we're dry. I think we're really dry. Not bad for that. And then, even through 10 o'clock, if you're going to be out late, trick-or-treating, still in good shape. Saturday, we'll see a slim chance for a shower. If you have any outdoor events, it's enough to be a nuisance, but no big issues out there. So Sunday, again, can't rule out a shower early, but just the slimmest of chances. That's mostly going to be southeast of town, so if you're heading to the Bengals game, you're in good shape for that. Don't forget, here's the big reminder, daylight saving time coming to an end Sunday at 2 a.m., right? Most of your clocks are going to change automatically nowadays, but you're still relying on an old-fashioned clock. Just be aware, those clocks, you'll be waking up and heading out the door, and you'll probably get there late in a lot of spots. Daylight saving time coming to an end, where the clocks will fall back 1 hour as daylight saving time comes to an end, and you get the extra hour of sleep, which is great. And then the sun sets at more so like about 5:30, so that is where it does not pay off because it gets very gloomy very quick and very dark very quick and not great. Anyway, either way, Sunday, daylight saving time coming to an end. Rest of the day looks pretty good. Monday, another spotty chance for showers rolls on in. Tuesday, we'll hang on to a slim chance for showers. Wednesday, we dry back out. That's our next driest day. Wednesday and Thursday both look to be drying back out. In that time frame, like I said, quite a bit of rain we're going to have to get through. That is just through the day Thursday, our 2 first alert weather days, and this is why it's going to be disruptive. Again, just to reiterate, no severe weather from this, but it doesn't have to be severe to cause problems, and that's why they are first alert weather days. So plan on wet and windy weather. In the blue shaded area, that's an estimated 1+ inches of rain. Generally, we're going to see lesser amounts the farther you get to the northwest of downtown, and then we add on some more rain, not a ton, but we at least add a little bit more into the weekend. Spotty chances. There's your Halloween. Again, just a slim chance for a shower. I think most of us are dry. No big issues for that. Same for high school football or any other plans. Saturday plans look great if you have any trick-or-treating going on. Looks good there too. And then Sunday, we're drying out altogether for the Bengals game. We're going to weigh into next week. Our next best chance of rainfall after that arrives Monday, but that doesn't look like anything to write home about. Let's see what else we got here. Jeff, I'm not ready for rain. Working outside the city makes for a bad day. Yeah, outside, not going to be fun there Wednesday and Thursday. I apologize in advance. And the birthday is going to be wet, 30th. Yes. Late in the evening, I think, you might get lucky on the dinner plans. Most of that rain might push out, at least in some spots, by about dinner time Thursday. So you might be in good shape for that. Just keep a very close eye on that. Just watching soccer. Just trying to watch soccer and do weather. Trying to do my job. Here's the 10-day forecast. Let me just roll this up here as I try to watch what I thought was definitely going to be a score for FC Cincinnati, then it wasn't. All right. Again, tomorrow, some showers early. We will have most of the day is going to be dry. No big issues for Tuesday. Rain returns late, and then we have our first alert weather days Wednesday and Thursday. Again, reiterating for the third and final time, not severe. Not severe. No damaging wind, no tornadoes, nothing like that, but can't rule out some localized flooding, especially southeast of town. So disruptive, but not severe. Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, can't rule out some stray sprinkles, but again, most of us are going to be all right. For Friday, which is Halloween, so any of the trick-or-treating, trunk-or-treating, or high school football plans all look to be in pretty good shape. Saturday, slim chance for a shower. Again, more of us than not are going to stay dry, so no big concerns there. FC Cincinnati, nope. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask, everybody. Sunday, don't forget the worst thing we do other than Groundhog Day, daylight saving time. And I say we, it's not my fault. Trust me, we wouldn't do it if it was me. Daylight saving time coming to an end as you are sleeping Sunday morning. So if you wake up and you feel extra rested, that is because you got an extra hour of sleep and your alarm auto set itself back an hour. So you get an extra hour of sleep on Sunday. That's the only good part. Now, if we could just end it, that would be fantastic. Everybody, I think, is tired of daylight saving time. It's an outdated thing. Bengals, that means you're going to be extra rested there for some tailgating ahead of who knows what Bengals team will show up on Sunday. And then Monday, we got some more spotty showers outside. Enough to be a nuisance. But look at the ups and downs here. I just want to point some of this out here before we wrap it up on what has been a chatty Monday. I did not think I was going to go this long in terms of talking, but ups and downs here in the forecast. Up tomorrow, down the next couple of days because of the rain chances, and then early Friday morning, Halloween morning, you're waking up to 39. Clouds return late Friday, and that gloom helps to hold temperatures up just a few degrees. But into the weekend, we're in the 30s again. 36 Sunday morning, 38 as we head back to work and school early next week. It is not a frost, it is not a freeze. Well, some areas might get frosty, but not a widespread issue, right? And then spotty showers roll on through. And I thought that was an FC Cincinnati goal. It was not. That hit the side of the net. All right, I just got to wrap this up. 55 Monday, and then we drop off like a rock into next week, right? Not bad for the daytime highs. I mean, they're pretty close. Well, actually, they're not. No, that's a lie. 54, that's almost 10 degrees shy of normal. But by the end of the forecast, the normal high is 58, right, on that Thursday. So not far off of normal. I wasn't wrong. And then, but the overnight lows, that's where they're going to get you next week. I know they're not on the screen for those last 3 days, but lows, Tuesday morning, it's 40. Wednesday morning of next week, where it's a high of 52. The morning low, though, drops down into the mid-30s. A brief warm-up Wednesday, and then we're back into Friday morning of next week, so a long time from now. We're looking at some mid to lower 30s again, likely more frosty, freezy conditions. So with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I'm trying to do too much at the same time. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Great talking and talking to some of you. Sam, I'm getting there. Okay, so here's the other issue with tonight, right? FC Cincinnati, they're playing in town, a little playoff footy happening right now here in the greatest city in the world. With that said, the World Series is game number 3 this evening. And the World Series is in L.A., so of course it's a later start at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And we will be on with a half hour of news after that. So Mo, to answer your questions, Mo Kim, who knows? It's probably going to be, if I had to guess, it's going to be at least 11:15, 11:30. It depends on how fast the game goes. If it's a blowout, it should go a little faster, right? But I don't know. It's tough to tell. We will be on late tonight, immediately following Game 3 of the World Series. So whenever that happens, we will be on with 1/2 hour of news, and you'll see me then. For all the rest of you, enjoy your evening. Thank you, Tina, for the kind words. I'm going to go eat some food, try to watch this game, and enjoy the rest of my evening. You do the same, and we'll see you again late tonight. Late tonight. Thank you, World Series. And we'll see you again tomorrow, of course, ahead of our first alert weather days later this week. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody.